Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Star Ladder Season 12, China. We are in day number 2, and this is Group B action between NewBee and taking on Hyperglory Team, and we have made it all the way to game number 3. That's right, Hyperglory Team put on a nice steamroll in game number 1, taking down NewBee. We got a bit nervous as far as NewBee and where they're at now with their new roster, but game number 2, they showed that they definitely can, well, bounce back, and they do so. So now we're into game number 3, and we're beyond the summit, bringing you the English coverage here for Star Ladder Season 12. I'm KotLGuy, but I'm not alone. Got a very special guest who could not sleep and had the itch to cast with me. Curtis Ling, also known as Owie2000. Welcome back, my friend. So you got to see a little bit of NewBee and Hyperglory Team. What are you taking out of this so far? Looking pretty good. Do you think that these teams are kind of shaking off the early rust with some of their new rosters, trying things out a bit?
They're definitely good. Well, HGT is obviously really set on Wisp apparently, but I don't know. They make me excited to see what the roster changes in Chinese Dota have to bring us.
They're no EG though, am I right?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. You should have heard PPD. When you heard PPD casting when PPD was casting with Zyore, that's like all it was. It's like, I mean, NA teams, they're going to lose, right? I mean, it is what it is. It's not like they're going to be beating EG anytime soon. They almost made a shtick out of it, like, well, they're going to try to take down this tower like any team foolish enough to try to take on EG, but, you know, how it goes. It was actually pretty funny. I hope that I get to cast with PPD one day so I could just really boost his ego up with something like that. So
yeah, he needs it. His ego's a bit frail right now.
Yeah, he's a very polite kind of a guy, and he shows a lot of sportsmanship, and, overall, very, very stand-up fella, but... Okay, enough about PPD. We got to talk about NewBee. So here we go. This is looking more appropriate as far as bans and picks go in the early phase. No more of this silencer stuff. It's NewBee eliminating the Troll Shadow Fiend, Hyperglory Team rid of the Bat and the Jug. They're able to snag in the Wisp. They're going to give it a second go. And NewBee now pick up the Axe, but as an immediate counter response to Wisp, they get AA. So... that means that, the Ice Blast comes through. Wisp is rendered useless as far as his sustain power. But, yeah, it's going to be the Tiny this time. So, the classic Tony Wisp combo.
Yeah. Axe is pretty good versus the combo just because Tiny generally doesn't want to be hitting heroes. He wants to be hitting, like, creeps and stuff so he can cleave him, ignore armor. And Axe has a lot of armor and forces Tiny to hit him. AA obviously stops the healing, and Axe and AA are going to kill anyone that the Wisp relocates in if they catch them off guard.
AA brings a really nice level 1 game as well. So
he does. The thing about playing against Wisp is one of the things you want is to have really strong lanes or to come out the laning phase ahead. And AA is one of the heroes that's really good against that. And the reason for that is sort of what you could see last game where Hyperglory Team weren't able to secure any map control with towers, and the Wisp, he just didn't have an impact that game. Yeah. So heroes like AA that can secure your laning phase, it's not a hard counter to Wisp, but it definitely helps.
Yeah, they can even really go hard at the Wisp and grab up something like the Disruptor game if they really wanted to, but... This time, though, things feel a bit more standard. Wisp Tiny is something they could potentially be going against. So if you're on your team and you're seeing a team open up with something like this, as we do a lot, see the Wisp Tiny opener if they have the opportunity to grab it up. Is there any sort of known go-to? You see some teams kind of pull out the Bristleback and the Viper and find ways to try to kite Tiny and keep him in his place while you'll have stuff like Ancient Apparition to deal with the Wisp himself. Maybe they could grab in something like a Witch Doctor. The Coconut works good when you're tethered and stuck between two. Maybe even a sneak in of a Wind Ranger just to kind of take advantage of the latch. How much emphasis, I guess what I'm getting at here is, how much emphasis do you put into your draft on countering the Wisp Tiny, or do you kind of look to build your own game and just work, regardless of a Wisp Tiny on the other side?
5 seconds remaining.
I think you definitely want to be able to limit the opponent's vision just so that Wisp is nullified that way, and you just need to have a lineup that can focus on the Wisp, because Tiny's not that scary without a Wisp in most games unless he's super snowballing and farmed. So heroes like Lion, who's already banned, are really good against Wisp Tiny just because he has 2 stuns for the Tiny and he can burst down the Wisp. Witch Doctor, as you said, is I also like a lot. Deathward's really good. Anything that can ignore Craigie is really nice.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, how many times have we seen Craigie just be the rain on your parade when you're just trying to get a good lead-in initiation and you're welcome with a stun to the mouth? It's not something you like, but moving forward with the bans, Hyperglory Team eliminate the Quap and Storm Spirit, 2 big snowballing mid kind of heroes. And then on the other side, NewBee ridding of the lion here and looking for their next potential opener. They're really sweating out the clock for these next couple of picks here. But is there anything else you can add to the outside of this tiny wisp to really emphasize like what they can bring? I mean, back in the day, I felt like we saw a lot of ogre where you can take advantage of being able to use his bloodlust to kind of add a bit more emphasis to someone like Tiny. Maybe an offlane Magnus. Like, is it worth it also just to kind of give even more than what Wisp can to Tiny to really put a lot behind him? Or
you can go that way. I generally don't like it. Like, I mean, Venge would be pretty good just because Tiny has ridiculous base damage. In versus 2, I thought NewBee were actually going to pick Tidehunter because I thought Chinese still like that hero, and he's pretty good versus Tiny.
They really do. I know your teammate PPD was very open and vocal during his draft analysis saying Tidehunter is, to quote, a shit hero now. So,
yeah, he is not good. I do not like that hero.
Yeah, more people getting behind their Bat Riders. I mean, I've even seen teams like Empire experiment with like a Sand King off lane. They've been rolling a lot of Earthshaker off lane as of recent. So I don't know if you put more value into heroes like that even over someone like a Tidehunter now. But as far as the Chinese Dota scene goes, they still will have Tidehunter as their like number 2 go-to after a Bat Rider. Just seems a bit interesting to me. Just feels like there's a lot behind his ultimate, and I don't know. I want to say that after a while, when you pick up a hero so much that it just becomes a bit predictable, and we're seeing more teams do stuff like they'll ward up the Ancients early just to really grab him while he's trying to do his Ancient stacks, and it's almost that point in time where maybe you consider a game changer. But yeah, Templar Assassin's the third pick for NewBee.
Templar is a good pick. She's an hero that can burst on the Wisp. It hasn't really been used that much this patch, but like the refraction change and with blink, where you can just blink while you're getting hit, is actually pretty good on her.
That's right. If it blocks the certain threshold of damage,
like, for 1 billion hits that refraction lasts, you can just blink at them and kill the Wisp during the fight.
Is that the same change that they implemented? How a Vanguard can block a bit of damage and you could still be able to blink away, even though something like a Vanguard obviously is not optimal on Templar Assassin, and
I think you need to take 0 damage.
But you have to take 0, and Vanguard doesn't block a lot, I know. But
yeah,
maybe a Crimson Guard.
Crimson Guard, and they're enfeebled and they're beating on you. Then
exactly.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. So that's the build. Like,
I want to say there's been like
Crimson Guard,
been like maybe 2 highlighted moments where just that bit of a boost nerfed down and they were able to blink away. I want to say it might even been a game where it was a pipe that blocked just that small bit of extra magic burst. So
that's a good one. Yeah. If they block a pipe, I could see that happening. Crimson Guard, not so much. Not gonna lie.
Rubik, though, is going to be the secondary support here for NewBee.
It's a classic support combo. Rubik.
Yeah, it's easy cold feet.
Easy cold feet, easy hits with the chilling touch.
So good zone potential. Yeah. So, but the nice thing for Hyper Glory team, I mean, wagering that they're doing the dual mid, is they haven't had to commit to their off lane yet. So if you're seeing a lineup like NewBee where they have potential AA Rubik to really muscle you out of the lane, is there any formidable option you could see as an offlaner that you can put up with it, or do you change things up and go with a 2-2-1 kind of a setup, or is there just you're going to have to get some sort of offlaner who can make the best out of a bad situation?
Honestly, if you see Rubik AA and they haven't picked their carry, then generally it's the best to either get Clockwork, which they got, or a offlaner who can just go to a jungle. And even Clockwork sometimes is a bit scary, just because Rubik's really good versus mid lane. I would just said, like, is Hyper Glory team Radiant or Dire? They're Radiant. Radiant's in the bottom of asking. I did not look at the
people would be like, how would you not know that? But you always look at a different pick screen.
I don't see it in here. So
you see like a hero pool and everything's over on the. I mean, the funny thing is then sometimes when I go back and watch or go into like a captain's mode kind of a game, I get confused as far as if a Radiant or Dire. Just how funny how things are different like that. So so yeah, definitely Radiant on the bottom.
I think I would have liked them to just abandon the top lane, but if they're not going to abandon it, then Clockwork's probably the best pick. He works well with Wisp, and just because you can like peel the enemy off him with the Tiny, and I'm not too sure if this is true, but I know against Clockwork, Tiny can hit the cogs and splash everything, so it's a really good target to hit. I don't know if you can hit ally cogs and splash everything. Maybe not. Actually, you can't. I should not say it.
An ally hit on the claw, hey, that's free. What that doesn't care about no evade or armor.
Splash off allied hits, but that would be cool if you could. It's really good against enemy Clockworks.
Yeah, that is funny. You break down the clogs, and next thing you know, you just wreck through the whole team.
Ooh, Timbersaw.
Haven't seen this guy in a while. He's a crowd pleaser. Action-packed. And, well,
That's a really good pick, I think.
good against Tiny. Burst through
Wait,
his...
is that a farming Timbersaw?
Might be a mid lane. No. Oh.
That's a tri lane, safe lane Timbersaw? I don't know.
Yeah. Creep cutting axe, go side by side with AA and Rubik. The bottom lane, maybe. I don't know.
I was thinking that since like they think it's a dual lane mid and they only have Avenge support bottom, which isn't necessarily
10
confirmed but
seconds remaining.
probable. Like you could put Timbersaw down there, he could do decently versus a weak lane,
5
and if
seconds
that hero gets
remaining.
farmed, like he's still really, really strong.
Yeah, he's one of those offlaners that's like he can still do
Reserve
serious work.
time.
You'd have to need almost a full tri-lane force to keep him back, and they already know they're committing for this dual lane mid.
I hope
so.
they farm Timbersaw. I've been wanting to try that for a long time, so I hope they try it for me.
Is it just so that he can kind of reach his potential
10
sooner than
seconds
later, and
remaining.
that's when he really can
Yeah.
ball out of control?
He's just a hero
5
that if he
seconds
gets
remaining.
farmed, he farms really, really fast with that
Oh,
farm.
yeah.
And against some lines, he just does insane amounts of damage. And Mirana,
That's a Marana. That's a
Okay.
support Marana. Don't see a lot of those anymore.
That's a carry Mirana.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, it's carry Marana. Definitely don't see a lot of those anymore.
That's crazy.
Holy crap. That's
I
not
haven't
even an
seen
off-lane Marana. That's a full-blown farming Marana. I don't know, Loda? I think it's the last time I see a Marana every once in a while carrying.
Yeah, Alliance was running that like as recently as like November last year.
Yeah, when Dota was a completely different game.
It sort of makes sense because they need a hero that can basically just lane against whether it's Timbersaw or Axander. They need a hero that can sort of survive the lane. I think one of the teams banned out Queen of Pain, which I think would have been their option to put against Axe. I think NewBee banned it. I'm not sure. Maybe HGT banned it.
10
Someone
seconds
back off.
remaining.
I want to know your thoughts as we conclude the draft. I always thinking about this, and I've been asking this to all the new
5 seconds
co-casters I get, and you're kind of a support player. What are your thoughts on support Pugna? Just are you going to flat out say it's terrible? I want to say before you make your
I'm a
media
friend
decision,
that's roaming Pugna, and it is amazing.
I just feel like in the
Prepare
meta
for
where it is
battle.
now with all these physical heavy heroes like your Troll, like your Jug, it works good to have something like Decrepify, and he's been buffed out of wazoo. I mean, the Decrepify works even better on your allies. You can move fast again. It works even harder on your opponents. Ward's good against the Magical Burst. I don't know, man. I feel like Pugna's been kind of left on the
there's-
sidelines.
Dota's a game where like you can have an insane amount of heroes as almost any role, but for Pugna it would be about getting away with it. Like you need to get away with because he's still bad in lane, even with the Coda Crep, and I mean he's one of my favorite heroes to have in the game on my team. But I just don't know. It could work. I can see it working. I'm gonna play support Pugna. That's my new thing.
See, I almost find him in the role like a Skywrath Mage. It's a low meta cost blast early. You can do a little
Yeah,
bit of
but it's
harassment.
hard to hit.
Seconds to battle.
It can be hard to hit. If you get Decrepify, you can blast Decrepify right after, and it's pretty much almost a guaranteed hit. But
Yeah, level 2 on support is sort of hard to find, to be honest.
it's true. It's true.
And he's not a Skywrath is special.
I know Skywrath's special, but all right.
I'm
Maybe
sorry.
one day Ice Frog will sneak in one more buff,
I
and then
think-
people
I think
will
you
think
can
they've
see
gone
it.
too far.
Because he can jungle pretty decently.
He can farm so fast. Once you get
You know
that blast
what,
up to 3-4, it's like boom,
yeah.
one shot neutral camps almost half the time.
You know the dire jungle with like any range hero, he's just quelling the trees on the middle medium camp above the rune. Like he can do that, and he stacks the hard camp. And once he has like a 5 or
you're
6
right.
stack, he just blasts it down.
I've
He
done
used
that
to
with
do it
KotL.
like, yeah. Oh, KotLGuys though, KotL, huh?
Yeah, you go up here, you
Yes.
jungle, you hit the side camp, you can easy level 2. Meanwhile,
It's-
you're all you can actually stack all 3 of them. You can still
With KotL?
actually get the hit. Yeah, you can stack the big
Oh,
camp
okay,
and send
okay.
the blast on the small
Yeah.
camp at 55, and pray that's not golems or whatever. But yeah,
Oh,
you can.
I mean, if it's golems, you just do it backwards, I think.
That's true.
My friend
And you
taught
can't
me-
connect to the big camp from the small one too.
Like for some reason, I've been trying to like triple stack with Barrow for a long time. I was talking to my friend about how if you get golems at the left camp, you're sort of screwed for triple stack. He's like, why don't you just do it backwards?
Yeah.
And it blew my mind. Like,
Of
super
course,
simple.
of course. Why?
So
Just
they're
change
going
the order.
aggressive with the Timbersaw safe lane. Which, I guess that's the more standard lane setup here. I was sort of excited to just see the offlane accent, a complete free farm Timbersaw. And it also looks like HGT predicted their lanes. They're just sacking Clockwork. Ray has the ward out to see the creep cutting or if the Rubik A start to come. I think this looks pretty good for HGT if they've practiced the Tiny Wisp versus TA matchup, because I think Tiny Wisp, if played well, stomps TA mid.
Yeah, I can certainly get behind that. I think the biggest thing I'm curious about is this core Marana. It's ZSMJ. He's first generation Chinese player. Cannot doubt this man. He's got to know something about this Mirana and bringing it back into the limelight. But apparently Chong Siba means remake or something.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like we gotta do a bit of a remake here. So apologies on the, I don't know, something happened. Obviously we're kind of left in the dark with this one, but I assume they're going to host up a new lobby and we should be able to get right back underway. I guess in the meantime I'll throw up this bit of logo here. There we go. Get it right back underway. So, well, we'll have to wait for Andre to get back underway. But Curtis, how things been, man? We haven't gotten to see a whole lot of you since DAC. I know you guys have had to work through some qualifier action. I know you have yet to do anything with the Summit 3 as we get to get started with Phase 2. But how have your experiences been otherwise? I know you've had to have a couple of matches with MLG. I saw you took on Void Boys. What happened, man? Pat sold too much and you guys dropped the game.
We did. We practiced very hard for. I don't know. Those games. I mean, it's not like we went in not wanting to win because we want to win, but they didn't matter. You know.
Yeah.
That's just how they are.
You can't tell the truth like that to people. They want to know that every game matters to you.
That's
that
just
you
how
fight
it is.
for your fans.
Like, NA qualifier. Like EG's won every NA qualifier in the history of Dota. I think. Well, this iteration of EG, and the last one. So
I got a good question for. Okay, so for Phase 1, I don't know if you got to watch any of the Summit 3 Phase 1, but pretty much all of those pub stack teams got taken down. It was a bit of an upset. You saw teams like Boreal and Void Boys make their way through. Do you think that when tournaments are throwing out invites for regions like NA, and you know it's NA and it's a bit lackluster when you have to kind of go to the bottom of the barrel to make some teams happen in these qualifiers, do you think there should be just more value in getting the teams that have actually been teams for a while, like your Boreal, like your Void Boys or whatever, or do you think it's worth it to give some of these pub stacks a try, your Demon teams, your Tinkers that have been wish-washed and thrown together, or you know, what was the other one like Mike's team or a Pandago stack or something like that?
Was there a problem with like teams being looked over for qualifier spots, or?
Or Merlini's team, for example, as well. You know, teams that have done scrims, and you're just being like, they've done a lot of scrims.
Sorry, I'm not too sure I understand, because like the only problem could be is if like a team that deserves to be in the qualifiers doesn't get into the qualifiers, right?
I guess it just depends what you think.
I think it's okay to. Oh, sorry, I'm really slow right now because I haven't slept. Like, if it's okay to like invite teams that like haven't played at all in officials.
Yeah,
if they have,
that's what. But they have like big names, and you know it's going to be a draw, and it's like Merlini and Demon and stuff. Would you think that those teams deserve an invite over a team like, you know?
I mean, it's an invite to a qualifier, though, right?
Yeah, it's a quote unquote kind of pre-qual Phase 1 qualifier.
And it was like a qualifier for a qualifier, so I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think it'd be good if they like invited them into the direct tournament. Like that'd be insane.
Yeah.
But I don't really see that much of a problem with it. Did they all lose? Like all
they
the
all
teams?
lost. Yes, not one of those pub Merlini's team, Demon's team, and I keep forgetting the third one. Merlini's team, Demon's team, and Tinker all got knocked out in Phase 1. So
yeah, that's interesting.
Tinker's a surprise.
Actually, I think.
Well, they didn't have Black when they were playing in Summit 3. They were still rolling with Ush. Now they have Black.
I think Tinker will be Tier 1.
Yeah, they look pretty good now. But here we go. It looks like we're going to get back underway. Obviously, we got the game remade for whatever reason, something to do with
Is the lobby up?
Huh? Did you not get in?
I did not get in.
Oh, God. Oh, well.
I was sitting here clicking it, too. I think I mistyped the password.
Oh, I'm sorry,
All
buddy.
Right. So I guess I'm going then, right?
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Owie.
Yeah.
I guess I was so obligated to like get the screen overlay all happen. I didn't even notice you weren't in the broadcaster booth with me. But hey, it was a privilege to have you with me for game number 2. And hey, man, hopefully we get to cast more in the future. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem, Owie. Take care.
I will watch on the TV.
Thanks, man. I appreciate your support from afar. Take care. And well, if you guys want to show love to Owie, you probably already followed him, but you can catch him on Twitter at Owie_2000. Thanks again, man. Take care. Enjoy the Dota from your bed.
All right, see ya.
Later. All right, so thanks again to Owie. Sorry, guys, I might have blown that opportunity as I didn't quite notice he was in the broadcaster slot, and they kind of went ahead without my co-caster. And, well, what can you do? So, Appreciate it as always, Owie, but I got to take this one solo and fight my way through it. So without further ado, it's game number 3. It's crunch time, baby, between these two squads. We've evened things up 1-1, and I know for the most part I've been watching a lot of 2-0 stomps, so it's nice to finally make it to game number 3, regardless if it's 7 in the morning where I am or not, and I haven't really slept. I am eager and ready for some Dota. On the side of the Dire, you got your former TI4 champions. It's Team NewBee here. We got Moo, highly regarded, as you heard before, as one of the best, if not the best, mid laners in the game. Even Sumail saying so himself. Rabbit is going to be playing your Axe. We got Banana playing your support Ancient Apparition. Sanching's going to be playing the Rubik, and that leaves the top lane with June on the solo safe lane Timbersaw. On your Radiant side, we got the Hearts Get Together boys, or the Hyperglory team. Mid lane, it's going to be Air on his Tiny side by side with Kaka, once again on his Wisp. Top lane here, we're going to have Pretty Hog go side by side with ZSMJ on the core Mirana. What the hell is that mask? I don't think I've ever seen this Mirana set before. Look at that masquerade of a mask. I've never seen that. That's crazy. Okay, well, anyways, back on bottom, you can see also, look at this NewBee, boys. Icy is going to be your solo safe lane farming Clockwork, but he is nervous. He's got the ward down. He sees what the hell's happening here. These NewBee supports, they're zoning back without even have to hit him once. But there's going to be huge pressure, and already the wave, because of those spins, goes right to the tower. Icy immediately dishes out the cogs and is like, whoa, now get the hell back. I don't like this early pressure. And although Icy's going to get on the free XP, he's going to have a hard time with CS. And look at this. Rabbit just is going to go for the creep cut right behind the tower. Top lane, though, we're seeing some fisticuffs break out. June and Pretty Ha, they're man fighting right now. Reactive armor, though, is nothing to scoff at there, Pretty Ha. Be careful. And for mid lane, it looks like Kaka was able to throw together a pretty quick bot. Might have even got the room for that one. And we'll put it to strong use here. This time they're feeling pretty assertive in this lane, adding the pressure there. And, you know, you got to be careful with the Wisp Tony. You may see a Wisp, or sorry, a Tiny rather, very low on life. Could be a bit deceptive. You think you have an opportunity to make a jump play, but then Wisp comes out like a bat out of hell and heals him up. Man, look at that damage. Just with the stun, Moo's going to be forced to bottle on up. And now he's got help here. Is Banana, I don't know, is he making the long trip cross country to top lane? No, doesn't look like it. Just going to hang back for now and just chill on out. That's funny because he's Ancient Apparition. You see what I did there? I'm funny. I'm funny and delirious. Look at the pressure here. I mean, this is just the Gatekeeper Rabbit guarding behind my creeps. What are you going to do about it? What are they going to do about it? They can't do anything. I mean, Wisp and Tiny, they got to do their thing mid lane. No one can come help out this clock. They're busy working elsewhere. Top lane, they're making it go. ZSMJ could be in trouble here. Nice telekinesis set up, and they get the last hit. It's Sanching, who secures the first blood kill onto your core Mirana. Oh, disaster. Maybe a bit of an overcommitment. And they rotate from the top lane, or from the bottom lane to get up to the top lane. Clockwork had to see this, and now will feel a bit more comfortable in his lane. And at that same moment, Rabbit's like, okay, I'm done cutting creeps, but hey, he's got Tranquils already. Good timing for him. He might even be able to start jungle here in the Hyperglory side. Mid lane, Air. He's got power. No, I thought he had power treads. No power treads yet. Holding 566 gold. Just got his Wisp Buddy nearby. There's going to be the stun. And Sancheng thinks he can kind of move on forward and maybe make a return go onto Air, but that is not happening. Bottom lane, the man fight continues here between Rabbit and Icy. Icy level 4, Rabbit level 4. They're a bit even as the matchup goes, though it's Rabbit with the huge CS burst, 19-1. But Clockwork right behind, 11-0. So not too shabby here for Icy in the solo safe lane. Mid lane, they get the stun. Not enough mana, unfortunately, for the combo. And he'll be fine. Not sharing that mana 11 quite yet. There it goes. And he's even going to get off some early damage here. And whoa, I look away for a moment. And Clockwork walks into a kill, taking down Sancheng. I don't know how the hell that happens, but your Clockwork, who is in a bit of a bullied situation early on, quickly has just redeemed himself. A good support grab like that gets Team Hyperglory team on the board, and your Clockwork's about to hit level 5. And he sees that there's a bounty, but it will be taken from Moo. All right, now looking at the other side, you see how Clockwork's now thriving. Let's look at Timbersaw. He's level 4, level 4.5. He's got the 1-1-2 build up, putting a lot into the defensive reactive armor. But he's got a bit of ways to go before he can reach the early pinnacle snowball point. Starts off with his boots to build into arcanes, I imagine, and he's got Banana nearby to kind of help out with that Creepolibrium. But it's bottom lane where they're making the go on the Rabbit, and they get the easy kill right there. ZSMJ even getting in on the action. I wonder if he just committed the full rotation. I think that's the case. They're just going to change up these lanes and have ZSMJ work on the bottom. And I think they're going to take Clockwork towards the top. All right, good for them. How are the stacks looking? They got the one stack here, no stacks over here quite yet. It looks like KotLGuy is going to build up the stack here. This is a lot of farm for Air if he wants to kind of bull rush forward into getting an Agnum Scepter. Look at Icy inching forward. He's doing this without a hook shot. Long jump in comes from Wisp, but Moo shrugs it off and walks away. That's a 4-man commitment from Hyper Glory team in the mid lane, and they do not get the kill. Meanwhile, bottom, they're going to make the move on to ZSMJ. A few more strikes, and this Battle Hunger could take him down. Oh, the Fade Bolt makes it work. Arrow does not stop Rabbit from slashing him home. ZSMJ goes down again. This time on the bottom. Back and forth we go, 2-2 as we even things up. And Icy moves forward here, very close to level 6. At about 6 minutes in, not too bad for your Clockwork, even better than the previous game. These supports watching each other. I see you. I see you see me. What are you going to do about it? I'm going to bring in Rabbit. Hopping on forward. Nope. My jungle now. Look at this. 6-minute rune will pop up. And I think they're going to... Yep, they bottle up the Clockwork. And well, they actually give him the bounty as well. But that does leave Moo, of course, with the Invis rune on the bottom, which he now has bottled up. So... Not going to be as easy to bring him down with that. Just get out a jail-free card right there in the bottle. How's the farm looking here? Man, Rabbit pulling it together. Near 1,200 gold already put together. He is going to have a Blink Dagger and some pretty good time. And at that point, you can make a nice committed jump onto someone like Wisp, and you get a free pop with the ult. And even now, you can see ZSMJ a little hesitant in his lane. Has to kind of just... bob in and out for some CS. Because if he gets a little too close, the telekinesis could welcome into the open arms of a Rabbit call. Not going to be the case anymore, as Rabbit, I think, is just going to hightail it towards the jungle to finish out that Blink Dagger. How are these stacks building up here? We got one over there, we got a nice little girthy stack over here. That's looking pretty good. Timbersaw's got a free lane to work with now, though. That's great for him. He actually almost has his arcanes complete. And meanwhile, Banana took a little bit of farm up top. He's actually level 5. And I gotta tell you, as a support, that's not too bad. Now he's gonna help out Rabbit, and he's gonna soak in some of this sweet dual XP and try to get towards that level 6. When you have an Axe who's kind of communicating with you on where he's gonna jump in, it's not that hard to land these kind of Ice Blasts. And you already know the devastating work that Ice Blast will do, even on someone like a Wisp. Moo. Ended up having to use the Invis, but unfortunately not able to use it on an attempt to get a kill. Eats the stun happily with his refraction, and well, he'll be fine. DSMJ working with bottom, phase boots. I don't know what the hell he's going to build up here. I guess you can go the jug build. That seems to work for most heroes. Mask of Madness, Yasha. Uh-oh, Cold Feet flies out onto air. Keeps moving, stun, moves forward, gets frozen solid though. Fade Bolt's going to connect, but Moo will still go down. They commit a lot forward, but they finally get the drop on the TA and the rest of the NewBee squad. Hightail it out, and Sancheng's like, no DD for anyone. As he eliminates that rune. There's June, looking to interject from behind, but it's Rabbit who gets welcomed with 2 sets of stuns. He gets blown up. 2 kills now all day. June, thinking about moving in from behind, but they hightail it on out of there. And back towards the mid lane. Very successful movement coming out from Hyper Glory team. They converge on that mid lane. They get the kill on Moo, move towards the top, and grab another there on Rabbit. That delays his Blink Dagger a bit further. He was actually getting pretty close to it. Minor toss back onto Moo with the stun follow-up. A little bit of damage. Wisp is nearby, but he is low on life. He's hoping to hand off this bottle right now. This is bottle abuse right now, people. Please report the Wisp. Yep, look at that. Full bottle. Oh, well. Try to get a couple of charges, but gets the one. Hook shot fly on through from Icy on the Moo. And now the wave, the stun, the kill. Finished with that rocket. Icy sets it up, knocks it down. Beautifully done. Hyper Glory Team on a nice 3-0 run right now,
Dire's
bringing in
bottom
kills
tower
one by
is under
one.
attack.
As we get into the 10-minute portion of this, still plenty of stacks to build up. And I got to play more Vengeful Spirit, man. She is so easy to stack farms with. You just
Dire's
pop one
middle
camp,
tower
wave
is
the
under
other, and
attack.
you can probably even get a third.
Dire's structures are fortified.
But ever since that nerf, not as easy. You got to put those invested points into your magic missile and kind of hold off on your aura a little bit. She's getting pretty close to level 6. And with that level 6 comes your swap action. But more importantly, your relocate's already up. 10-minute rune should also pop up, and let's see what their vision is. No aggressive wards quite yet, so no big opportunities to make relocate plays. And if they're not going to be going for that, maybe we should start taking down some of these tier 1 structures so that the map does open up a bit more for Hyper Glory Team to find those relocate ganks. Man, pretty hot as phase boots. Your Vengeful Spirit hits deceptively hard. Especially once she gets that aura, man. It's like 80 damage, 80 plus damage per right click. Very nice. They are just kind of baiting out this Tiny towards the mid lane, and NewBee right now are not having any of it. Banana was able to finish off his level 6, has his Ice Blast ready to go. And Rabbit,
Dire's middle
where's his
tower
Blink
is
Dagger?
under
There it
attack.
is. Is this it? Give it. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So, Rabbit now looking to debut his Blink Dagger, maybe. Where is he? Did he smoke up? Yeah, he's got the smoke on hand, but he's not using it quite yet. From their perspective, everyone's missing. So,
Dire's bottom tower
look at
is
that.
under
They not
attack.
only smoke, they use the Moonlight Shadow here. They're going to see if they can find anyone, but fortunately, NewBee is on the other side. But they will beeline it towards June. June has been quietly farming this top lane. Finished out his arcanes and already has about 1k gold saved up. But maybe not for much longer here. No, it looks like they're not going to go for him. So, hey, smoke down, Moonlight Shadow down. They get nothing. NewBee now pop their smoke, and they have eyes on mid lane. Rabbit with his blink. Looking for an opportunity to jump. Could be on this Vengeful Spirit. Nope. No, not happening quite yet. Oh, there it goes. Long jump on the Wisp. See you later, buddy. There's your first dunk of the game. Dunk of the game. Dunk of the game. And it's going to be on your Wisp. NewBee get it done. And strike back. 5-3 now. At what was looking like a promising couple of kills from the Hyper Glory side. Gets thwarted right there, so. How's it going? Axe has blink. Now everyone knows. Drum's the build-up here for Air. For his bit of extra mobility, and I wager this is an Ogre Club as a reliable Ogre Club for now, eventually to be built into his Agnums. But I don't think he's even moved for these stacks yet. No, stack's still there. Hasn't put him to use yet. I like that, getting the most out of his mana. Tossing as the
Dire's
overcharged
middle
Wisp comes
tower
from
is
Fountain,
under
giving him some of that sweet Fountain lovin'. Hyper Glory Team thinking about moving through the woods. Move back, though, and they see that June has jumped forward, hand in hand with Rabbit. Now Relocate comes in. Magic Missile. Sets it up, shoots it down from the air above. Now June, able to get the kill, taking down the Wisp. Ice Blast flies through. It will affect a couple of them, but it's going to be Icy. Big Cog catch on the 2. And with that, they're able to annihilate both of them. Killing spree for Icy and a triple kill for Air. First Relocate gank. So rewarding for Hyper Glory Team. As they move ahead 9-5. And take a 1,300 gold boost. Man, that magic missile looked pretty awesome. That was just like a set it up, knock it down. CSMJ on the return, heading back to the bottom lane to find some farm for this Mirana. Just one of those heroes, man. It has been way too long since I've seen the core Mirana, and I can't really remember when this hero really peaks, you know? What items does it take before this Mirana can go on the offensive? I mean, I wager next she can go for a reliable Yasha, but at that point, your positioning becomes so crucial that you can't really get in there and get a lot of real, raw, right-click damage out there quite yet. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe he's got something else up his sleeve. But June ventures away from his top lane now, shows up on the bottom, has his point booster together, and he is getting pretty close towards that early Oh, what the hell? Toss up and down. They rid the Iceman. Near that bottom rune. Just a simple relocate sets that one up. And yep, last second leaves behind Air to kind of farm up this stack, but quick to return. And Air, he is very close to his Ags. Holy moly. After the stack is done, he's going to be about, what, 600 away? You're tiny. Hits hard. There's your net worth, fellas. No surprise as you see Tiny there at the top, 7,400 gold. Just behind him, Rabbit on his axe. 5,100 working through his stack right now. Already has his Blink Dagger here. I wonder if he's going to go... what he's going to go for. It's not crazy if they see maybe a Force Staff come up on these axe. I mean, unless one of these two guys is able to throw together a Force Staff on the support, they might need it for the cogs. Did my stream go down? Well, touching back here with ZSMJ, I want to make sure my stream didn't go down. For some reason on my preview, it is just gone, but... what the hell? Verizon user ID. I don't even know if I'm live still or not, but I'll just act like I am, and if people in the game can still hear me or not. We're seeing here as just a usual spread of farm here from HyperGlory team working through their own jungle. Air has got his Agnums freaking complete. Good for him. Activate Verizon. What now? Oh my god.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, game, I gotta have internet because I'm watching the game, so I don't know what the hell's happening. Restore your service now. Guys, I'm just gonna pray I'm still live. I don't know what the hell's happening, but Tether overcharge happening right now as look at the stack go down and the money come in. The rich continue to get richer here as HyperGlory team just kind of make quick work.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I'm trying to get confirmation that my stream is live. Apparently Verizon wanted to block half my websites or something. I don't know what the hell's happening, so I'm just going to make the best of a very awkward situation and just continue to move forward here. NewBee HyperGlory team 10-6. They just taken down the Vengeful Spirit. Sorry for missing that, guys. I'm obviously trying to figure out what the hell's happening on the outside of this game. But there you can see, just after already getting Agnum Scepter, this Tiny raking in a serious net worth advantage. I mean, he's about to breach the 10k mark. The next closest being Rabbit on his axe, about 4k behind. That is a huge item behind. Oh, well, I guess I can't look at my dashboard anymore. Thank you, Verizon. Oh, well. So, here we go. They continue to farm on 4. Now quickly 2k here. Oh, man. I wonder if he's going to go right for the AC or just stop off for the Manta first. They got to feel pretty confident here. How's their ward vision? They got one aggro ward. That's like a relocate, beat the hell out of someone ward. But regardless, it does give him that little bit of intel. For the NewBee side of things, they're kind of doing the buddy-buddy system as they farm through the jungle. June working with this tower for now. I think he's got his Bloodstone complete? Maybe near complete? Okay, yeah, he's got the Soul Ring. He's got the Vite Booster. He's just one component away. Very close, very close. And both these teams basically just charging up at this point in what is a pretty tense series right now. Now 2,200. Oh, gets the last hit on the tower. June. Oh, whoop, whiff on the Timber Chain. Not a dramatic exit after the tower, but still, it's a tower kill and a bit more gold. Bloodstone nearly done. Now Icy creeps in, and they will smoke up. Let's see if they head right into NewBee territory here. While Air continues to bring in the farm, he's going to go right for that AC. Already has the Hyperstone done.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Shadows take us.
Here they go, NewBee, move forward, Moonlight Shadow, they got the vision. Oh, god damn it, how the hell that happened? Icy, you fake twice and you airball it. Well, he gets the kill anyways, but that was very awkward. Now they go knocking. Oh, Glyph. That should be an easy tower takedown. And, well, they get the support. They were kind of hoping for a 2 for there, but couldn't quite get it. Back to farm. So unfortunately a lot of waiting right there, and the big smoke play is just taking down a funny little support. I'm going to try this one more time. If this doesn't work, I'm giving up. I know everyone's probably looking at this as like, what the hell is he doing? Everything is fine. What are you doing? But I can't see anything outside of this game as far as what the hell's working and what's not. June moves in now, continues to farm up. Bloodstone, as you can see, done. They're taking apart little arcane boots. The booties. It'll be able to easily clean out some stuff. But here we go. Smoke now as NewBee will be able to move on forward. Oh, they're going right for Roche. Who's got a Desolator, man? Oh, he is all in with the damage. They're thinking about it. Rabbit will push down this bottom lane. This could be risky, man. It's not like they're going to be able to bring down Roche quickly. I can't believe Moo just went all in with a Desolator. That is very risky against this kind of a team. It's June. Toying with them. Creating space, creating galaxies for his team. But they are not able to really move into the pit quite yet. This Clockwork Illusion has the intel. Now they move in. They see the Clockwork Illusion. God damn it. They bring it down. So what NewBee thought was going to be a good opportunity to smoke and move into the Roche is quickly thwarted. Hyperglory team looking pretty sharp after game number 2. And your Tiny is about to have an AC. There's going to be a point when Hyperglory team are just farming too much too fast. And NewBee are not going to be able to keep up. Especially this Wiz Tiny. 12k, nearly 13k. ZSMJ, he's got a Midas, so he is second in net worth now. NewBee just continue to fall behind. Oh, potential trade here on the bottom. But the jump comes nearby. They throw the Battle Hunger onto air, but can't quite follow through. Wisp is just like, hey buddy, don't worry, I got you. Don't worry about that pesky little Battle Hunger, I got you. And they'll just keep farming, man. Alright, I'm getting the good word that everything's fine, so I'll just assume it is and keep moving forward here. So 11-6, 5k plus, slowly building up for Hyperglory team. It just seems like they keep bringing in more and more resources while NewBee try to catch up here. Oh, there's the connection we want. Long jump in on 2. Well, Icy goes down. Rim shot on the dunk, but it still gets the job done. But here comes Tiny, relocated on in, swap back for Rabbit. Rabbit could be caught and brought down. He will be. ZSMJ committing the leap on forward. Could have gone too far. Here comes Air. Moving on in. Stun. Going to be an air ball. But now Chakra flying out. Slows down ZSMJ. And the follow through coming in from June. Secures it with the Timber Chain. And NewBee will be rewarded with their Tier 1 takedown. That, unfortunately, didn't seem to go the way that Hyperglory team wanted to. There was a relocate in, but maybe it was just too far behind. Too sticky of a situation or something, but I gotta tell you, even though Hyperglory team continue to bring in more and more farm, something like this Timber Saw can really prove to be trouble. He will easily be able to have Wisp's number and take him down quickly. With that opening and that push on bottom, NewBee move into the Roche pit, knowing that relocate won't be there. Hyperglory team can scout it out with a rocket all they want, but there is nothing they can do. NewBee are going to be able to secure an easy Roche, an easy extra life, and it's going to go right to Moo, allowing him to feel a bit more aggressive here. The burst potential is so nice, so even though it's not as defensive as you see most TAs go for right off the bat, whether it be your mobility item in a Blink Dagger or an early BKB. He just hits so freaking hard that this Wisp just can't get caught out. He'll be blown up in 2 shots. I mean, you can almost say the same, though, for this Tiny. As you can see, just doing work. Clears out the top lane. There's going to be your Blink Dagger. Now he's got the mobility item for Moo. And June, it looks like going to go right for an Agnum Scepter. Double Chakram all the way across the sky. And he actually... he is raking in some serious gold. He jumped up the net worth chart, now nipping at the heels of Tiny. The boost they got from that bottom fight, they still have a mid-tier 1 they can even break down as well. So no surprise to see the net worth start to dip back down towards the NewBee side of things. Only about 2,500 gold advantage right now for Hyper Glory Team, but look at the XP. It's for NewBee now. All right, what are we looking at here? Okay, Banana. Not going for the Midas into Agnum's kind of build up quite yet. Puts a bit more... oh, nice. Nicely done. Puts a bit more into the Force Staff kind of get up. Just to have something for this Clockwork. As I thought Rabbit maybe was going to consider going for one, but he got that BKB. We saw him use it there in the bottom skirmish. But someone's got to get a Force Staff. And Rubik has one. Okay, well, he got that all of a sudden. I'm sure the tower certainly helped that, but now you got a Force Staff there. Could have a Force Staff soon on your Ancient Apparition. And just as I'm talking about the Agnum Scepter on June, he's already got it. So, Agnum Scepter, Bloodstone with 11 charges. As they go down this mid lane, they'll be able to bring it together, but Hyper Glory Team looking for bottom. More meticulous play. NewBee creep on forward here. Should be able to secure this tier 1. Oh, no last hit, June. Sorry. Oh, bottom lane, they make the jump onto ZSMJ. The swap save is there. An immediate Moonlight Shadow. Pretty hot. Valiant TP effort, but not going to be happening. June also comes to this bottom lane. He gets 12 charges now. ZSMJ pulls out the TP and will be A-okay. Oh, whoa, whoa. In the meanwhile, Air and Kaka move down this top lane. Tier 2's down, and they're moving into the base, and this is something NewBee need to make sure they consider. The rat play that could be coming out from this Swiss Tiny cannot be underestimated. Do not sleep on them, because you will lose your base at the drop of a hat. He has his AC now, so he hits pretty freaking hard. Now BKB complete. And I like this. Vengeful Spirit. Oh. Double Chakram. Connects on Air. What was originally... oops. That's not the Timber Chain you want to do. And now he's going to get stunned. He's going to get tossed. Here comes Wisp. Goes to the low ground as June goes to the high ground. Moo as well. I mean, it felt like not that long ago I was saying that Hyper Glory Team were finding more of the farm across the map and getting up and ahead, but it's almost feeling that like that's shifting the other way. Well, Clockwork is able to get his BK. This is serious BKB gaming coming out right here. 1, 2 BKBs. About to have 3 on the side of Hyper Glory Team.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, I like the toss on Rubik. It's the poor man's Blink Dagger. For an ally in need. Looks like their gem's going to be handed off here to ZSMJ. Let's see if they can kind of take back this map. Only having 1 ward there, it looks like. Bottom lane, though. Looking for Air. He's got help nearby. Relocate could catch him. There's going to be the jump committed from Rabbit. Are we going to get Relocate save? Yes, we are. A thankful save will bring him back. Are they going to fight and try to help out their buddy Kaka here? Well, they got the Moonlight Shadow. Dust. Has anyone got Dust? Well, we got a Sentry. Uh-oh, Mr. Sentry got arrowed. Relocate in, and they blow the hell up out of the Wisp, but committing will be Icy. On to 2. And there's the Cogs. Air trying to right-click what he can. The chop not going to be enough. Dunk will not catch Air, and he'll live. Moo's going to be taken down in exchange from Icy. Rocket connection as June looks to make his hasty escape. Side by side with Rabbit. It's a 2-for-1 trade as the dust settles, though. Hyper Glory Team coming out on top just by inches there.
Is under attack.
Suddenly, June has Boots of Travel. All right. This guy, and then Curtis was saying it in the draft, he can just farm so well. And uh-oh, Caster Curse. I'm about to give this guy props, and he almost dies. So he does make it away, though. No hook shot. Can't catch up. He's thinking about it, though. What is he doing? Oh, maybe he's scouting out for the 30-minute rune. Is about to pop up. But yeah, once Timbersaw is able to throw together that first big item, I mean, even just the Arcane Boots, his farm really goes from mediocre to crazy fast. 13 charges on his Bloodstone. Surprised that he chose to go Boots of Travel over something like the Blink Dagger. I feel like for mobility's sake, a lot of Timbersaws, when they have an early boost, would go for something like the Blink Dagger. But I guess favoring, you know what? Boots of Travel, though, this game, I can see its validation as, you know, you have a potential split push action coming out from Air and Kaka that you want to be able to always have your way to get back. June now crosses paths with Air. And, well, he gets stunned right in the face. Wisp wants to get out of there with his friend, but June doesn't want to let him go. Timber Chain moves forward. Chakram connects. Kaka's in trouble. Uh-oh, he's chopping him down. Get the hell back. Air wants to toss him out and away, and even the Moonlight Shadow has to come out just in case, it looks like, because that was not used anywhere else. That was just for the sake, I imagine, of keeping Kaka alive, but... Oh, did that connect? It did. It went through him, but it's only level, what, 2? Yeah. Level 2, no ags. Wisp is fine. He's fine. Alright, what is going to be the next item for Air? BKB Ags AC. 2,300 gold saved up. I've seen some Tinies go for their Mantas. We'll have to see. As he and Wisp will work with this top lane, they always have that relocate to kind of come into any sort of fight that will break out, which could be bottom lane. Look at this. June is right next to ZSMJ. Help is nearby. They have the swap with Vengeful Spirit. Icy could interject with his hook shot, and then the relocate could come. And I'm sure from the newbie perspective, they do not see a lot of Hyper Glory Team on the map. They got to be a bit cautious with any sort of stringing bait. Oh, wow! He walks back into that arrow somehow. June tries to get a hold of ZSMJ, but the BKB is going to be popped, and Rabbit should go down here, and will go down here. The relocate comes in, and they blow up the Rubik just before that. A 2-man drop right now for Hyper Glory Team, and Wisp is going to head himself back to the top lane, leave Air here to finish the job on this tier 1. That was real unfortunate there for Rabbit. He backed up and away, and then accidentally stepped forward and conveniently for Hyper Glory Team into an arrow, which was already pre-launched. So that's set up from ZSMJ, and they get the follow through. And now they look to pressure this bottom tier 2. Wisp, I'm back from top lane. And he comes in and will help out his buddy. Oh, good, he got the Ghost Scepter here. Oh, good sidestep. Will avoid the Ice Blast. And he is still trying to overcharge Air here to finish off this tower. Oh, it might be too risky, though. Dive forward from June. He's going to be fine. Walks back and away. They get their tier 2. ZSMJ is going to be as lucky. He will. Leaps out. Ooh, pretty hot. And a nice little safety escape there under the Moonlight Shadow. Nicely done there from Hyper Glory Team. And a scout on the Roche. It's a longer timer. Not going to be popping up quite yet. So, well, they're successful in their objective. And that comes at the end of taking down both Rabbit's Axe as well as Sanshang's Rubik. Things going right back the other way. It looked like for a moment there, NewBee were on the comeback, but Hyper Glory Team take this game right back and into a 7,500 net worth lead. Oh, I love this. Look at that. Using both chakrams, farming both camps at once. June taking total control of the jungle. Can't help but question the late game as the game gets into the late game period. What kind of damage NewBee will be working with. Looking at Moo, he's obviously looking to complete his BKB. Rosh is up now. They know it. They have a trap down for NewBee. And for Hyperglory team, they have a clockwork to keep scouting it out with those rockets. So both teams have good vision. But this is that tense period from both sides where they kind of scout out the Rosh. And it looks like NewBee are going to be the first to pull away. As they head back over the top side, it's going to be Hyperglory team that sneak in, and they will take it quick. Wave is there, no medallion though. So it might not be needed. Lock down with your arrow. And their Kaka is going to dish out the overcharge. They will bring it down quick, but look who's coming. It's NewBee, smoked up. They got to do it quick. Icy scouts from the wrong side, and oh no, a whiff on the timber chain. But Double Shock him to fly. Icy will go down, and so will the Vengeful Spirit. Air now looking to go in. Dishing out the right click, but it's trying to go through the refraction and not happening. Leap forward. ZSMJ puts himself right into the battle and right into a call. Oh no. ZSMJ gets off a few shots, but it's disaster for Hyperglory team. Their only survivor is Air with the Aegis. But everyone else falls immediately, and that was a slower start from NewBee as well, not catching the timber chain, but Icy out of position gets taken down immediately, and so does the Vengeful Spirit. I don't know if she was trying to swap or what, but she gets killed. And NewBee looking to follow through with an objective here in mid lane, going for the tier 2.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Tiny went with heart. All right, 3,500 life. He's a big boy. No doubt in that. He's just trying to maybe slow them down a little bit.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
It ain't going to be easy, though, man. Look at how quick June can clear out any wave. Man is a machine.
Illusion.
He's going Shiva's next. Oh, man, what a pickup. Wait, what? Double Shivas? Double Shivas. All right. Don't see that often. Really want to take it to this Tiny and his right click, I suppose. He goes to work. Just 2 quick clubs is all it takes to muscle down this wave. Wondering if maybe one of them should have kind of followed through with AC. I mean, I suppose that June still could. Nope, never mind. He's got the Shivas as well. So, double Shivas. But we'll see here. Hyperglory team still with Aegis in Hand of Air. How aggressive they want to play this out. I mean, we saw plenty in the previous series and games. They are just as comfortable kind of holding on to the Aegis, taking things a bit more disciplined. Play things a bit more passively. But Air is kind of stuck in the bottom river area. June across on the other side. While they do this, the rest of Hyperglory team are smoked up. Could look to move in from behind. They see June. Magic Missile connects. Arrow will not. Hookshot follow-through is there. Here comes Air now, and it's an immediate suicide. It took 1 quick club. And Timber went down hard. But thankfully, he has a Bloodstone. Still with 11 charges. He comes back very quickly.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And Rabbit here with the gem. I wonder if that was a stolen gem. Yeah, no gem anymore for Hyperglory team. Fortunate for them. And look at the solid vision that NewBee have in their jungle. Well, it looks like ZSMJ will be able to clear out the bottom here, and I can't help but continue to question how valid this late game Mirana is going to be. Does have Desolator, BKB, and they get another gem. But she still can run into some problems here. Been a bit finicky with the leap commitments, almost throwing herself into the heat of the battle.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But here's Hyperglory team charging down this mid lane. Air. I bet they wish they still had that tether ability to kind of blink out and keep a long range tether, but that's not the case anymore. Look at how timid both sides are just before one makes the jump onto the other here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We're in sky camp for this one. Look at them. It's gang wars right here. They can't see each other. There's black on one side with maybe one ward behind. I like that ward. Gives a little bit of vision behind, but there's going to be the committed jump. Moves on to 2, catches both Rabbit and June. June's able to make it out, and Rabbit continues to square up here with Icy, but Rabbit eating a lot of damage now. Will go down as the first to fall. That means the gem also hits the deck, and it will get claimed there from Hyper Glory Team. Now they put their attention towards the tier 2 tower. And uh-oh, Air could be in trouble. June gets the kill, taking out Vengeful Spirit. Air still alive. Wisp not so lucky. Topped up and down. Goes down. Double kill for June. Your Aegis going to be popped. And Air should go down for the second time. BKB will be used finally on the second life, but I think it will be to no avail. This is going to be a slow death for Air. Oh, Chakram Clud off. There's the lift. There's the toss. It's a raid boss. But he does go down. San Sheng actually almost dropped there at the back end, but he will live. And now a big fight for NewBee. They only lose their tier 2 tower, but they get a 2,200 gold swing. As you can see by the net worth, it's still Air at the top on his tiny, about 25k, but June is continuing to pull together quite the economy for himself. After finishing out that Shivas, he's got near 4k gold. What the hell will he go for? Another Shivas. He can go for a sheep. I wouldn't mind seeing just a good old sheep stick on your Timber Saw at this time. You certainly will have the gold. As you can see, it just doesn't take a whole lot to wipe out waves. So he will constantly bring the pressure there on the bottom. And I don't want to say it's at that point yet. Oh, he's going to go for a halberd. All right. That works great against someone like Tiny. Renders him pretty much useless if you can find your way through that BKB. Plus, he has the benefit of that little bit of evade. Not going to help. The evade will not help with the Tiny cleave. So as long as Tiny does not focus the Timber Saw, he can still bring in the huge damage with the cleave that goes through the evade, but can't do much about it if he is disarmed. So we'll see here. Here comes NewBee, smoked, charging up through the Ancient side as they head towards the top lane. CSMJ could be in trouble. Rabbit gets the blink call onto him. And now the swap save from Pretty Hot is just a quick sacrifice. Oh, a hook shot gonna miss from Icy. CSMJ on the run, able to make it away. Has to pop his BKB. Icy might not be as lucky. Solidified, and Rabbit locks him in place with the stun. And now Icy in a skirmish with Moo. Gonna be able to get away. Wisp and Tiny on bottom. Did they use the relocate there? They did. Didn't really get to see them do a whole lot. AA is the only one to drop on the side of NewBee, but it's just a one-for-one trade. NewBee are able to grab a tier 2 tower, and it looks like NewBee are going to secure their biggest net worth advantage this game, which was once a Hyper Glory Team 8k net worth lead has quickly turned the other way. And I got to give most of the props of that to June. Really been able to bring together huge amounts of farm and huge amounts of team fight impact on his Timber Saw. Plus Moo, man. Moo's got a Eagle song now done, going right for the butterfly, and I imagine the same story as far as the evade goes. You're going to have to just watch out for the cleave damage of Air, but Air could have his arms full. Might need to start going with the side push here. Not going to be easy, however. Oh, okay. Air's got a Daedalus. He hits really freaking hard. Really hard. Boom. Bang. Get the hell out of my face. Both teams playing this one more on the slower end and passive end to just kind of itemize a bit further. They wait out for the Roshan. Looks like NewBee will be rewarded as they go in with Desolator in hand. It shouldn't take a whole lot of muscle power to bring him down. And now NewBee can look to maybe even breach high ground from any lane.
Roshan has fallen to the dash.
There we go. Now complete. Hyperglory team. What will the response be? All right, well, look at that. ZSMJ is able to put together a Monkey King bar for himself just before the butterfly is completed on your Templar Assassin. So the good thing there for Hyperglory team is they are one step ahead as far as the items go. It will help out with ZSMJ and his right click. He also hits deceptively hard. While NewBee could have their hands full with Tiny and Wisp, the ZSMJ Mirana could deal some serious deeps from the sides. Something to keep an eye on. How much time he had? Oh, he's already down to 5 seconds on his BKB. What about Tiny here? Tiny as well, man. They burned through those BKBs. Not good. That's not going to help a lot. Oh, look at this. Yeah, no, get that TP the hell out of here. Was that Timbersaw? It certainly was. All right, now, NewBee with the ball in their court. They wait a bit. Now Agnum's going to be into the hands of your axe. The dunkage may commence. I hope. So NewBee could look to go on the assault here. What's their vision looking like? Not much vision at all. And for Hyperglory team, they got this couple of runes here, or wards rather, one mid, one up here on the high ground. No team committing quite yet here. They scout out air nearby. Rabbit cannot quite make the jump as they both flex their sweet little Shiva's guards. Uh-oh. 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 There's June. Stun's not going to hit. June goes up to the high ground, hoping to catch Wisp. Not going to be there. Oof. This is one of those games where we are going to see one hell of a firefight of a fight, and then it'll be over. Can't help but feel like this is just going to be like a one-and-done kind of a thing. More so if it's Hyperglory team that are on the bad end of that one-and-done. Nice, one hell of a slope down. Jesus. Well, hey, NewBee, man. After game number 1, which that looked like what we were expecting as far as DAC NewBee goes. Bounce back strong game number 2. Game number 3. It's looking pretty good for him, man. Should be able to walk away from this best of 1. Best of 1. This best of 3. A 2-0 record if things keep going at this rate, but Hyperglory team not letting it go easy. Happy to kind of play it slow and hold from the high ground if need be. But that means they will continue to get less and less farm in comparison to this NewBee squad, which will be happy to keep bringing in the farm for themselves. And they also get a nice little D ward there on the high ground. Putting Hyperglory team in the dark here, you can see from their vision, they are trapped. I mean, look at this. Where do we go that's safe? While NewBee start placing down their own aggressive wards, they can keep tabs as far as what Hyperglory team are doing, and there is just nowhere to go outside the base. Do NewBee make a push here? They still have their Aegis. I don't know how much longer, but they might want to make some use out of it. There's Rabbit with it. Scouts out air. Is he going to make the jump call? He could, but then the swap will be there from Pretty Haw or relocate. It's not so easy. You ideally would like to make the jump on someone like Wisp. Maybe even the Vengeful Spirit, but Hyperglory team have a lot of good counterfight. The Clockwork, Vengeful swap setup. And it looks like NewBee are not going to make the push. I think their Aegis will just expire, and they won't be able to make a committed run into the high ground. It's a bit unfortunate, but this is the meticulous play we come to expect from these Eastern teams, man. It's a chess match. Making sure they always just assert dominance across the board. Take the farm away. itemize appropriately so that they can really thrive in the later game. Now mobility picked up here from Sansheng as he grabs a hold of his Blink Dagger. And as far as Rubik goes, I mean, he's obviously been putting in work as far as setting things up. The Fade Bolt, you know, seems flimsy at this point, but any bits of damage nerf certainly helps. And the Null Field, it's a nice little passive to have. But as far as spell stealing, some good options out there, but nothing that seems to be really game-changing. Hyperglory team look to move out from the bottom lane, inch by inch, anything they can, and that's a lot of Daggons right there. June going all in with the Dagon burst. Buying out. Okay. It's a lot of hate. If he gets a hold of Wisp, Wisp is done. How much life does Wisp got? 1480? That's not enough. Double Chakram, Dagon Blast. See you later, buddy. Dagon, huh? I was thinking it was going to be a Sheepstick, but favoring the burst would allow him to easily take down that Wisp. It's tricky, too, because you can't really go for a big split push kind of a play if you're a Hyperglory team. June can simply use his Boots of Travel to kind of get a hold of him, and he'll catch that Wisp and take him out. And it could leave Air stranded behind. Alright, so here we go. NewBee going back towards the Hyperglory side. Doing it now without Aegis. Still have Cheese there, as you can see on the Rabbit. But no full commitments into the base quite yet. Hyperglory team just happy to hold strong, it looks like for now. I say that, but they're smoked up. Moving out little by little. Thinking that maybe they could be doing their Ancient Stack. No, they're not there. Yes. Smoke for the ward. Any extra bits of vision they'll take, but bottom lane, they're making their jump onto Air. Moonlight Shadow comes out, but they got the call. He's going to be forced out BKB. Shiva's Air in trouble. Where's the relocate? Oh, it's not there. They can't get him. He's down. 90 seconds forced to buy back. We were waiting for this one, and here we go, boys. Double Chakram flies out. Moo gets the double kill, and double buyback has to be the response. Here comes Air, back from the dead, clubbing it home under Rabbit. Big toss in, and it could be trouble. Dunk there, and now Tiny goes down. And that's it. Okay, one and done it is, like anticipated. Oh, God. Chinese Dota, please. We wait, and we wait, and we wait, and there it is, and it's over. Holy crap. Oh, my God. Well, hey. NewBee? Maybe they haven't been playing as much RPG games. They've been actually kind of hitting the grindstone as far as Dota because it looks a lot better than what we saw from DAC, I gotta say. And, well, of course, props to Hyperglory team. They do a very dominant game number 1, which many would have considered a bit of an outdraft. But it's game number 2 and 3. That's all NewBee. Very well played. Even there in that last game, it felt like they were falling behind quite a lot, but they just kind of play the game at the tempo they want, and they build up enough resources to eventually just make the jump and wipe out Hyperglory team entirely. So with that said, we're all done here, and I can go ahead and move on and get some sleep, and I'm looking forward to it. So folks, thank you so much for coming by and hanging out. That's going to conclude Star Ladder China action for today, as we will give a nice prop set to NewBee for pulling in a couple of wins, as well as IG, who will be undefeated in their Group A run. So, with that said, guys, we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place for more Star Ladder China action. Between now and then, you can always catch more action overall over on Beyond the Summit. I'm KotLGuy, and I want to give a quick shout out, of course, to Base Skip for joining me in the first game, and of course for Curtis, Owie, joining me in the second. Third game, unfortunately, didn't work out, but I'm always happy to go at solo, so... Guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. Good luck with your Dota. Good luck with your pubs. And, well, good luck with getting some sleep. I'll catch you next time, all right?
G2A.com! The best video game store ever! Fast as lightning! Solid as a rock! Cheap as duck! What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace! Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!